This is a global news update on Tobacco News. From the streets, today's headlines ignite. In a world where every decision ripples across borders and futures, we're diving into stories that demand your attention. From crackdown to hate, to history-making fortunes, this is the pulse of our planet, raw and real. Let's get to it. South Korea cracks down on anti-Chinese rallies. Union lead nationwide protests in France. US shutdown triggers mass layoff threat. Elon Musk becomes first person worth $500 billion. First up in South Korea, a bold stance against division. President Lee Jae Myung has ordered a crackdown on anti-Chinese and anti-foreigner rallies, saying they damage South Korea's image and threaten its economy as the government launches a visa-free entry program for Chinese tourists. The move comes ahead of a possible visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping for the APEC summit, with Lee stressing that racial hatred must be rooted out to safeguard national interests in a nation seeking to balance security and prosperity. Lee is warning that prejudice may cost more than pride. It can cost the future. Shifting gears to Europe, where the streets are heating up. Protesters in more than 240 French cities are set to strike against looming budget cuts, with union demanding more public spending, higher taxes on the wealthy, and the reversal of pension reforms. Newly appointed Prime Minister Sebastien Lecornu faces mounting pressure as France's deficit nears double EU limits, while 76,000 police will be deployed to maintain order. With students, teachers, and workers already mobilizing, the clash signals more than a fiscal standoff. France's streets remain the true arena where economic policy is tested. Across the Atlantic, America's government grinds to a halt. The US government has shut down for the first time in 7 years after lawmakers failed to pass a funding bill, with the White House warning that mass federal layoffs will begin within 2 days, affecting up to 750,000 workers. Republicans blame Democrats for stalling over healthcare guarantees, while Democrats accuse Republicans of holding the public hostage with stopgap measures. As both sides dig in, the real cost loom over ordinary Americans. In Washington's power game, it is always the people who pay first. Now to the economy, where one man's fortune redefines wealth. Elon Musk has become the first individual in history to surpass a net worth of $500 billion according to Forbes, driven by sharp gains in Tesla stocks and rising valuation for SpaceX and XAI. His fortune briefly hit $501 billion before settling under $499 billion, keeping him well ahead of Oracle's Larry Ellison at $350.7 billion. Tesla's share have risen more than 20% this year, buoyed by investor confidence in Musk's renewed focus on his businesses. Yet the scale of his projected $1 trillion pay package and ambitious targets highlight the extraordinary risk and rewards tied to his empire. Musk isn't just building companies, he's building a legacy at the speed of rockets. You're watching the Global News Update on Tobacco News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Turning to diplomacy down under, or rather up north, Canada is making wave in Asia. Indonesian President and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney signed landmark agreement in Ottawa covering trade and defense, including the elimination or reduction of 95% tariffs on Canadian exports and new cooperation on maritime security, cyber defense, and peacekeeping. Carney hailed the deal as a game changer and the first bilateral trade pact with an ASEAN member, while Indonesian President praised Canada's balanced role between Western powers and developing nations. In a region marked by China's growing clout, this pact is more than economics. It is a declaration that Canada intends to stand taller in the Indo-Pacific. From deals to discord, conflict in the Middle East escalates at sea. Israeli forces intercepted 39 boats carrying aid and activists, diverting passengers while one vessel remains at sea. The flotilla, with 500 participants from multiple nations, sought to break Israel's blockade of Gaza, drawing sharp condemnation from Turkey, Colombia, and Malaysia, and triggering protests across Europe. Israel insists the mission was a provocation, not humanitarian aid. Yet, as images of soldiers surrounding unarmed activists spread, the blockade is no longer just a regional issue. It has become a global flashpoint for conscience. Lightening the mood but not the lessons. In entertainment news, actor Tyrese Gibson has expressed condolences after his cane coursers allegedly attacked and killed a neighbor's dog in Buckhead, Atlanta, prompting an arrest warrant for repeatedly letting his pets roam freely. Though Gibson said he was out of town, he has rehomed the dogs and accepted responsibility, calling the tragedy heartbreaking. But in a neighborhood shaken by loss, responsibility deferred is responsibility denied. Finally, in sports, a beacon of hope amid hardship. The International Olympic Committee refunds scholarships for about 50 Palestinian athletes to train for the 2025 Asian Youth Games, Dhaka 2026 Youth Olympics, Aichi Nagoya 2026 Asian Games, and the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. IOC President Kirsty Coventry said the initiative supports peace and solidarity in a region devastated by conflict, where sport facilities have been destroyed and Olympic participation is scarce. In a time when the war has claimed over 66,000 lives in Gaza, the move underscores that even amid destruction, sports can still carry the weight of hope. Tonight's stories show us, in division or unity, loss or triumph, the human thread binds us. At Top Accolade News, we don't just report, we remind you, change starts with saying the full. For Top Accolade News, I am Ojarome Okocha. Do have a wonderful day and keep watching the global news updates on Top Accolade News.